So Dogfight into IL-1 or 3, you really need to take care about your RPM setting, which is about 2300 RPM if you want to have the best power available. So into the 109 we want to there is much more importance on the energy than on the other aircraft, simply because you lack a lot of maneuverability, and you want to compensate this maneuverability by keeping and maintaining more energy than your opponents. That's not too much difficult unless Spitfire 2, which in that case it's much more difficult. This first part of the video is going to be dedicated about 109. I want to have 300 km per hour because that's very efficient climb speed to this aircraft, and also because the opponent cannot catch you when it's a Spitfire 1A, but in that case we are facing another Mi-109. So we are going to enter rolling spiral, and we have to tighten much as possible the turns, because we are losing very fast the energy, and the opponent, if he doesn't do anything, he just ends up in front of you. I'm trying to catch the right position, but he is doing the right thing. He keeps the maximum energy he can. So now we have two aircrafts behind us, and I'm going to try to do the same thing to demonstrate you how it's possible to do it. So you have to tighten and make it rolling. Have to manage it to avoid the spin. And in some case it's very difficult for the other one to fire on you, and sometimes they just end up breaking away. To have this maneuver efficient, you need to do it with some speed. Hence you need to have first of all the speed before you start up, and the altitude, because doing so you may lose altitude. It's not possible to do it straight away. You don't have enough power. It's always going to be down, losing altitude during this maneuver. So I'm not facing the opponent, the enemy. I'm just having some 30 degree with him, because in that case most of the time it will not be so much easy for him to aim at you. If he tries to do so, you will notice that, and you can do something about it. So I guess that with the 109 it's about energy and about tactics. You cannot gain if you just do tight maneuvers, and it's wasting your energy more than anything else. So now we have the problem how to get behind him. I want to try something. I don't know what it will do. Just a half loop, but probably, and a little bit of left rudder, so that I just compensate the yaw, which is induced by the propeller effect. I'm not driving full power because I have to take reduced fuel. I want it to be not to be heavy, so I'm driving 180 1 bar pressure, I guess, and 2200 RPM. That's driving about 350 km per hour. That's let's say a fast cruise, fast cruising. So that's not very interesting in terms of Dogfight, because I already have the advantage. What I want to show you is simply that I'm going to keep the advantage, keep the energy up, because otherwise I'm quite a dead man, or at least would be very difficult then to start doing anything. But with the energy of advantage, it's really no problem, except in some particular points where you have to take care not to be into the aim of your enemy. But then I'm keeping all the time the advantage. I'm not doing very sharp turns. When he tries to lose me by doing sharp turns, I smooth it and I gain altitude again. He has no way to escape then. And as you can see, if he has no energy, there is very little time he can be able to fire at me. And on my part, if I take care, most of the time I will be able to have few seconds just to shot at him. So we should now going to enter into the fight because the other one dive into the water. So this kind of maneuver makes him lose all his energy. On my side, I remain on top of him most of the time, and obviously he has no way but to escape as he can, and in that case all I have to do is manage my energy, keep it high, try to gain the advantage when I can. And here I have to tighten the turn. When we are into the vertical, he will have no way to follow me. I have a Spitfire following me. I don't want to start the dogfight at this altitude because it's too much dangerous for me. I want first to gain some altitude if I can. So Spitfire following me, I have to climb with a high speed because the 109 climbs very well in a 300 km/h or a little bit higher than this, while the Spitfire, I guess, has a very low vertical speed when he is crossing at more than 200 miles per hour, which is what we are doing now. So that's on purpose that I keep a high speed for climbing. And that's the typical way, let's say, with the 109 that goes do in dogfights, because they can gain advantage of energy, they can move away and get above the Spitfire and then start to gain the dogfight with the advantage. That's also what I have done here, because the Spitfire 1A as modeled at the moment cannot follow the Emil, and I take advantage about that. And I'm keeping my energy here. Also I'm managing the RPM to between 20 and 2400 RPM. However, now you can see we have some more friends in the area, so we are trying to toss on them down. That's not going to be easy, but now we are quite high, so it should be possible to do something. And I'm going to do the first maneuver to move away. I'm going to face the sun, and now I have to do something. You can see that's quite efficient, and then you have to tighten the turn, but very soon you can spin the aircraft, and we've lost a lot of altitude, but the Hurricane has moved a little bit away from our tail. And here I'm doing tight maneuvers as much as possible, yet I'm keeping speed quite high. Sorry, I think there is somebody else in my tail. So I've been a little bit damaged, however it's still possible to show you the things. I'm keeping the speed quite high because it's my maneuverability which is in question here. I don't have so much maneuverability that I need when I'm going slow. And the other aircrafts, it's very difficult for them to do a high-speed dogfight. Spitfire and Hurricane, at least they are much better in a low-speed dogfight. And I'm keeping 2300 RPM, which I guess is where you can have the more efficiency of power out of your aircraft. That's why you can have the maximum speed, somewhere around 2300 RPM or so. So Dogfight is about maneuverability and about energy, and since into this aircraft we have another capability to match the maneuverability of the Hurricane or Spitfire. We have to gain on the energy point of view. However, in a Spitfire or Hurricane, when you are using the maximum of the maneuverability out of the aircraft, on the other hand, you are losing very quickly the energy, which we cannot do here too much. We cannot lose so much energy as the Spitfire would in very tight turns. So let's say that's the benefit we have here. We have really to take care not to waste our energy, while on the Spitfire Hurricane, if the guy is doing tight maneuvers, he will tend to break away his energy very quickly. That's mostly, let's say, where you can gain the advantage on this small edge. This is why in the other craft it's very important to do the right maneuver and release when it's not anymore useful, when it's not anymore needed to turn the turns. You don't have to keep the turn tight, because then you're wasting a lot of speed and of energy. And when we are fighting to the 109, we want to gain the energy advantage. That's the only thing we can do if we want to have freedom of movement, because with more energy, then you're free to do anything you want. You just have at any time the energy to break away or enter vertical maneuvers where the other craft mostly cannot follow you. And I guess that's what we're going to see later with the English aircrafts, how to do the right maneuvers and not to make them too tight or too long, and trying to keep the energy matching that of our opponent into the sky. Our goal is to make him pass just in front of us, so losing quite speed and energy here, and have him just passing right above us. That's not easy. Have to tighten the turn as much as I can. So here he has had his advantage. And that's a mistake from him, where I have immediately to take the advantage. So I'm here damaged, but I want to try to continue a little bit the fight where I can. And I'm making a G, negative G. That's one of the things we can do it with this aircraft, what the enemy cannot do. Here, for example, I'm doing it like if I was going to be in a left turn, but then as I do it immediately on the negative G, it's a right turn, and it starts to... Another example, I'm going to make left, and then it's a right turn in fact, and then it's again a left turn. Sometimes it tends to make him a little bit away from your tail, and then you can start doing the scissor